Yeah, yo, sometimes you gotta go to war for what you believe in. Sometimes you gotta go to war for what it is that you want, what you see that's right. I'm about to go to war, but lyrically. War cry, baby. Yeah. Hey yo, war cries echoes in the background. That's the sound of soldiers getting ripped up and tore down. Lyrically dismantle metaphors and manhandle. Marauder with
Welcome back to Impose My Will podcast. I am your host, your brother Ramone. With me, my other host, my brother Joe. Joe, how you doing today, my man?
Man, I'm doing great, man. How about yourself?
Doing good, man. I want to just address the audience, address the people who have been following us, man. I would like to apologize for the long break in content. Unfortunately, I had a major death in my family, which affected me heavily. Still affecting me heavily. But I appreciate you guys still rocking out. I've been checking the numbers. Nobody has really kind of, fallen off or unfollowed or anything. So I really appreciate y'all just holding on, man. And we're gonna try to get back to giving you guys this content regularly, how we used to do. If it comes a little slow, please forgive us. We will do our best to try to kind of get back on a regular schedule. But just wanted to first address the people and the supporters and the people who have been rocking with us since we kind of started. So for sure, man. So again, thank y'all for just chilling, not bouncing. You could have bounced, and took your subscription somewhere else, but
We
you chilling.
appreciate the
So I
love.
appreciate the love. So what we do want to talk about is Boots Ennis versus Stanionis fight last Saturday.
Yeah.
On the Matchroom card, out in Jersey City, not Jersey City. I'm sorry. Out in New Jersey. Where they fight again? It was
Was it Atlantic City?
No, Atlantic City. I'm sorry, Atlantic City. Which is a legendary venue as well. We saw Mayweather Gotti there. We saw a bunch of fights there before.
Right.
So Boots and Stanionis, they graced the arena for, I would say, a highly touted fight.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to it. I know Joe was looking forward to it. And I think a lot of Boots fans in general were looking forward, and a lot of Stanionis fans was looking forward, looking forward to that fight. So, we got it, man, and the results were, for some, interesting, for some surprising, and then for some not surprising at all. So,
Right.
we want to get into that, man, and kind of talk about it. Joe, if you wanna kick us off, man, and just walk us through your thoughts and your feelings on how that fight went, and yeah, man. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, that fight, like you said, I was excited to see it finally happen. Um, I think this was a big fight for Boots.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, this was really like your opportunity to break out of your shell, break out of the constraints that he's kind of been in over the past year or two, just, in the boxing world. But his performance, you hear a lot of good, a lot of, still got a little criticism there and stuff like
Yep.
that. But for the most of all, it was a great response to how he performed. I did not expect for the fight to end as it did in the sixth round.
Yeah.
Um, and he pretty much had a shutout performance the way I looked at it when I was watching it. But it was a few things like when you go back and watch the tape, like yeah, Boots kind of take on a little bit some punches. I
Yeah.
feel like a little bit more than he should,
Yeah.
but how he ate those punches, yo, he's a big 147.
He's really big. Yeah.
So it is like I feel like how he walked into this fight and walked out. Yo, we gotta have talks. Is he the giant in this division?
I would say so.
I would say so. Yes.
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I think
mean
that's a great
he
assessment,
dominated.
man.
Hmm.
Completely. For the most part, it was a shutout. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I agree with you as far as some of the critique. It's not a lot of critique. I think he got hit with some shots that he probably shouldn't have gotten hit with, but I also got to chalk that up to his style. We look at
Yeah.
his particular style. We look at let's say like a Bud Crawford style. Um, Bud gets hit with shots that I think sometimes he shouldn't get hit with. But those kind of styles, those kind of action oriented styles, leave you open for shots. I will say this though, um, Boots ate them shots, man. He
Was
really
not
ate. He got
phased
hit
at
with some
all.
clean shots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was
He
not
got hit with some
phased
clean
by
shots.
those punches at all.
Definitely a testament to his chin, which up until this point nobody even really thought about if he had a good chin or a bad chin because he's been so dominant.
Mm.
Um, I thought this was going to be a bit tougher fight than what
I
it
did
was.
too. Yes.
I thought it was going to be a big tougher fight, but on paper, um, Stanionis' style is tailor made for Boots to come forward, come
Hmm.
in, you know. But the difference is that Stanionis got one of he has one of the better jabs in the business and stuff. But I think Boots took a lot of that from him. He
Yeah.
not only did he just outdo everything, but he also had Stanionis kind of pissed off, kind of scrambled a bit. He looked like he was, chasing a shadow for the most part. He's
Yeah.
chasing a shadow that was, blasting him up. But nonetheless, it looked like he was kind of chasing a shadow. He just couldn't keep up with him. You know what I'm saying? He just couldn't really get him to a point where he could back him up the way he did. Even when
Right.
he was trying to back him up, Boots was still able to move, use the angles, turn him,
Yeah.
you know,
Boots
hit him.
angles very well.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
his athleticism too, I think, was a big factor into this
yeah,
fight. Like you said, like Stanionis, I mean, yeah, Stanionis really couldn't keep up with him as he, saying, try to cut off the ring, the way he
yeah,
pivots and stuff. Boots, yeah. Whew.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Let me ask you a question. In the sixth round, when his coach pretty much waved it off, Stanionis didn't get the opportunity to go out on the shield. Which again is it's surprising, but we'll talk a little bit more about why maybe not it's so surprising. But
Mm.
um, how did you feel about that? How did you feel about his coach waving him off? Do you think that he should have continued? What's your thoughts on that?
I don't think Stanionis wanted to continue. His body language was, like you said, like he couldn't do nothing with Boots. With the punches and the hits that he took,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't like even like when he like took the knee. It was like he took the punch, ate it, and it was like the pressure or whatever.
Right.
And then he went down, and it was like when he got up, he looked. It was like like it was almost like I can't do it. Like I'm. This is, and I think it was more him than the coach. I think the coach was like you want to
Yeah.
go on, and yeah, I did not expect it to go like that. But Boots kind of
Yeah.
beat the soul out of him, bro.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He definitely beat the fight out of him, even if he wasn't completely like battered up and anything like that.
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
think they knew going forward it wasn't much he was going to be able to do. It would have just progressed to the way it was, you
Right.
know. And we got to remember he dropped him. Um, he hit him with a bunch of uppercuts when he was going down.
Yo,
You know what
that
I'm saying?
flurry
Yeah.
alone was punishing.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and you didn't
Started
expect him to
bleeding
come
out.
back after that.
No, no, no. It would have got worse. It
Oh
would
yeah,
have got worse as it would have went
or
on.
he would have got
Um,
fatigued.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Boots was in superb condition from
Oh, he was
round
ready.
1 to round 6. I mean, he did exactly what he wanted to do. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Um, I'll say this though. I think Coach kept in mind that you know, you got a baby on the way. Any day. Worst thing you could be is battered and bruised and beat up when your child is here and you can't really
Hmm.
fully um,
Enjoy it.
be a part of that moment.
Hmm.
And I know some people may say, that's whack. This is boxing. You sign up for this. Um, But when you know, you know. Again, I didn't expect it. I
Mm,
didn't expect it because he's not that he has not given off that kind of vibe as a boxer. He's always a, a bang out,
yeah. Hmm.
kind of boxer who's going to go down to the end. But I think in this case, because, you know, they had foresight that this fight was going to continue just like that. It was absolutely no adjustment he could make that was going to put him back in that fight, and it was just going to get worse. And you got a baby on the way, all these different things. That was just like,
Right.
let's not even do it. Let's not
Hmm.
even do it. So, um, yeah, great fight for Boots. Um, and I'm still a Stanionis fan. I think he was just
Yeah.
completely outclassed. Some people have the narrative that, oh, he sat for so long. No, no, he was still the
Mm,
same Stanionis. He came out and fought that fight exactly like he normally fights. He came forward,
yeah.
threw the
He
jab,
just
hit him
couldn't
with
do
good
much.
shot. But he just got his attributes taken from him. That's just
Yeah.
plain and simple what happened.
Yeah. And
Plain and simple.
like, yeah, you're 100% right with that. It's just like Boots showed another level in his game that I think people wanted to see. I think
Yeah,
many people speculated, many people heard like his talent. You hear his dad say all the time, like, yo, he has other levels. Like this is nothing. He has other levels. But one of the things that it highlight is that he could go. Like he's ready right now. But the only thing that I would say that I would be concerned with, I feel like sometimes he gets too comfortable.
right.
Where those, like you said, the punches that he took on, he shouldn't have took.
Yeah,
Can you do that with a Brian Norman? If you do decide to go up to fight 150, you can't do that with fighters like Virgil Ortiz.
right. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, so it's like, I hope this isn't like a bad habit of his being like comfortable, but it
comfortable.
makes me like I really think he could pretty much dominate 147. But going up,
Yeah.
I don't feel like Boots could be that this type of fighter in the
Yeah.
heavier weight class.
He would have to be a bit more focused. I know he said he had a lot of fun this fight, and you could tell he had
Right.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you have a lot of fun like that, and you're so far up in the cards, you can lose a little focus and catch some shots. Again, luckily he got a good chin because he caught some. He
Hmm.
did get hit with some shots. I think they would have to be cognizant of that in the higher weight classes at 154 or 160 because I believe his plans is to go 154 and then 160. Naturally they just hit harder up there.
Hmm.
And so Bozy is gonna have to, continue to be on him about just staying focused for the entire fight. Even this fight, I mean, if he would have got too on focus, he could have got hit with something that,
Yeah.
that could have changed the tide of the fight. It just so happened it didn't.
Yeah, it was a
But
couple
moving
punches that he
forward,
took that I was like, ooh, but the way he just shrugged it off, like, bro, that was a mosquito bite. Like,
yeah, it was
what's up?
nothing. Great chin. Maybe
Hmm.
it's the beard, you know what I'm saying? But
The cushion.
but it was he got a good chin.
Right.
But going like again, like you said, going up there to 154, um, it's gonna be different. 60, even more different.
Right.
Um, so good fight. Um, really good performance. Um, possibly it's Mario Barrios, very possibly. You know, there's been some rumblings about either him and Mario Barrios or
Brian Norman.
possibly Errol Spence and Mario Barrios, which I don't believe. I don't believe that's going to happen. But
Nah.
um, if his goal is to
Mhm.
unify, that's probably who he's going to fight next.
Yeah. I don't
Mario
even want to
Barrios.
hear
And,
nobody mention Errol Spence until Errol Spence says, "This is my coach. I'm back working
right,
out." I don't
right,
want to hear nothing.
right. Sign on the dotted line or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And I only bring up Spence because I know some people think I'm Errol Spence you know fanatic and stuff. And
Uh,
I'm fanatic of the sport, fanatic of styles, and I
mhm.
bring it up only because there's possible a similar opponent that they might be chasing. That's all.
Nah, I hear you on that.
PBC from my understanding, has sent that kite out, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think more than likely it'll be Boots, Mario Barra, because Boots is saying that he can still comfortably make 147, and he
Yeah.
wants to unify. Only it makes sense. It
Hmm.
makes sense. So, um, yeah, man. Anything else you got for this one?
Ah, nah, man. Just ready to see what happens there next. Cause what that was the start of the was that part of the Grand Prix or the little tournament that they got?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's part of the Grand Prix. I haven't honestly. I've been checked out, so I gotta catch
Yeah.
back up and really kind of see what's
Hmm.
going on. Um, the only thing that I really saw was and we actually have and I'm still gonna drop the episode. We have an episode about Alicia Baumgartner signing an MVP. As everybody who's been paying attention, MVP has signed more women.
Hmm.
Um, they're really serious about women's boxing, which is dope. We have an episode about that. I will put out that episode. And then of course, what was it today? Yesterday, showing that Alicia Baumgartner is now being trained by uh
Get Derek
Derek
James.
James,
Yeah,
right?
which is
Which
big.
is which, in my opinion, if one is looking for like a more fundamental approach to the boxing skill, then that's a good option. That's a good choice. That's a good choice.
Hmm.
So we're gonna see how it's gonna go. As far as her training there, I just saw Ryan Garcia training, which is interesting because again, I've been disattached or detached. I'm
Mm.
sorry, and I haven't really been on it like that. But I do remember when Ryan had said he was gonna be training with going back
Rosa.
to right, and then now he's back with Derek James. So I'm like, how does that happen? It may have been explained. I just haven't watched it. Right, I haven't seen it,
Well,
but
yeah, they did speak on that. I think they are him and Tiafimo actually will be with Reynosa for like 2 weeks before Reynosa and Canelo go to Riyadh to start training because they
interesting.
have to do their camp over
Right,
in Saudi Arabia. So
right,
even though they were scheduled to be with Reynosa for this fight,
yeah.
because they at the same time frame, it causes conflict. So that's why
Mm.
he's with Derek James because Tiafimo ran into that same issue. So
You could tell with Derek James too right now, especially with Ryan and probably the stuff that he recently went through. This is really just a job. He's probably at the point where like I ain't really doing the personal thing no more. I'm not really trying to build the very personal bonds anymore. This is really a job because think about
yeah.
it. If you know Derek, I think never has had an additional coach come through from a completely different camp
Mhm.
and help train one of his fighters. It's never been a thing of his. It's never been something that he was doing, and now he's like, whatever. If you want to go over there for 2 weeks, as long as I get my bread, you know
Right.
what I'm saying. As long as everything, then we have a job
Mhm.
to do, and we're gonna do our job, and that's all that matters. So I think
Yeah, I
he's
think
really,
he's gonna ride the sunset out with Alicia because I do
yeah,
remember him speaking on it one time before. He was like possibly like another 3 years.
yeah.
Um, that he was
He's
going
gonna
to pretty much
retire.
give to the sport.
Yeah.
Um, and then two, I did see something else. I guess the lawsuit with Earl Spence is being pushed through. I guess they're
Oh, I
going
didn't
on
even
with
see it.
that. I seen
I didn't.
something on it. I didn't jump into it, but I did see
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's probably a lot, and it's probably a lot too where he don't really want to deal with in boxing something that you love, and
Sure.
you got to
Sure.
deal
Sure.
with something like that where you've been with somebody for so long, and yeah, I mean, and he it
Yeah.
seems like everybody at his camp is like family, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, I
mhm.
understand. I understand. So, more power to that brother, man.
Yeah,
I hope his fighters go out there and do well. Um, especially Ryan Garcia because, we saw those. I don't know if you saw him, if you had a chance to see him, but the clips of back when Ryan and Rolly used to spar against each other, and Rolly definitely got the best of them both times. So
mhm.
it's some things that I'm
Oh
sure
yeah.
he's looking for, he's looking for Derrick James to help him with. He's no stranger to Rolly.
Right.
So I really got the best of him twice at sparring. I know it's sparring. Y'all don't jump on me. I know it's sparring, but sparring is telling. That's why
Yeah.
people spar. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? It's for many things, for attributes, but a lot of time it can be telling. So
Yeah.
um
That's why
it's gonna be interesting.
Teofimo was just saying the other day. He was like,
Mhm.
yeah, he won't be sparring Garcia at all while they're
Yeah,
at the camp together. He said
yeah,
he won't
yeah,
do it. Hmm.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, man. That's all I got, G. Anything else you got, man?
No, that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Until next time, if you're in Niagara Falls tomorrow night, which is be April, was that the 18th? April 18th tomorrow.
Yeah.
Does It's going down at Seneca Niagara Casino. Boxing, all star boxing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We will be in the building.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
hopefully we see some of you in the building as well. And again, thank you so much for just hanging on. We're gonna try to get back to the regular scheduled program when it comes to our content. Um, Back to interviews. We had a lot of plans for this year. Unfortunately, none of those plans have really came to fruition as of yet due to the situation. But we're not giving up. We're not throwing in the towel. We're gonna get back out there. We're gonna get the interviews back popping, and hope to see y'all soon.
Yeah. And shout out to everybody that participated in the Buffalo Golden Glove. Shout out to all the winners out there. A couple of the guys who you seen on our podcast that we interviewed came out as big winners. So shout out to them. Congratulations to everybody. And big ups to the sport of boxing.
Big up to the sport of boxing, yes sir. Holds my will. Peace.
Peace.